Our penultimate senior road tax heat of the day. It's heat number 5, groups A versus C. Here is your starting grid. So on the front row, it's Nick Cuppens and Mark Kimber that will be on the front row. Behind them will be Luca Leistra and Eliska Babičková. Lachlan Robinson and Max Stemmerdink, row 3. Storm Brouwer, Danny Prins, row 4. Bas Janssen and Christian de Klein round out the top 10. James Lingard and Wout Kerstens ran out the top 12 ahead of Luca Thiel and Lars Zenen. David Lachner and Gilles Chloé, that's row 8. Noah Hip and Semban Thiel, that's row 9. Paul Forkema and Lester Ellenkamp ran out the top 20. Followed that up with Clémentine Benoit, Devin Sagadi, Emily de Hoys, Mario Sidler, Anthony Boulou, Bart de Witt, Flint Schuring, Remco Baan, Colin van Lammeren, Julien Hache, Yuri Tenhef, Antoine Antier, and 33rd, and by no means least, Francis Stéphane Lemunot. So another 7-minute plus an additional lap heat. We've had 2 different winners today, each securing 2 victories. It's both Lewis Gilbert and Callum Bradshaw at the moment. So we could be in for a bit of a rough ride this afternoon for the next 2 races. As we come to the conclusion of day 1, the top 30 after intermediate classification will proceed to the A finals tomorrow. And then the top 6 from the second chance heat, which kick-starts the action post-qualifying, will be at 10:45 for the remaining 36 drivers that will need to try and qualify for the final 6 positions. And then the remainder will go into battle for the B finals, so pre-final and final. We do actually have trophies for both the B and the A final as well. So the drivers get themselves ready. Cuppens, Kimber, Leistra, Babičková, Robinson, Stemmerdink, Brouwer, Prins, Janssen, de Klein. That is the top 10. They now make their way through into the tram lines. Are we ready? Are we steady? It looks like we've got a good start, and Nick Cuppens keeping the lead for the moment. Luca Leistra, oh, now that's very wide for... Now, I'm wondering, was that a full start? But the thing is that everyone is still going at full speed. There is no yellow flags being shown, but it looks like, yeah, the timer is still ticking down. On the live timing that I've got, you can head to motorsport-events.se/BNL live. So the timing has reset itself and readjusted. So Nick Cuppens leads from Luca Leistra, Mark Kimber, Lachlan Robinson, Eliska Babičková. Then we got Max Stemmerdink, Danny Prins ahead of Storm Brouwer as they filter their way through into turns 10 and 11, through into 12. So Nick Cuppens will bring them across the line to complete the first lap, as now Luca Leistra up the inside. Nicely done from the Bouvin Power driver, and there is Mark Kimber. Lachlan Robinson just waiting again. He's in 4th position. And so far, he's had a 12th place, a 4th place, and this could be very, very good, very conducive to his start, as Kimber has now got past Nick Cuppens for 2nd place. So it will be a case of when Robinson decides to go for it, he will just have to watch it, as will every other driver. Karting is a non-contact sport as they go through turn 10. 5 minutes and 20 still to go, plus an additional lap. Nick Cuppens looking all over the back of Mark Kimber at the moment, and there he goes up the inside to retake 2nd position. And Lachlan Robinson now trying to factor in, and oh, he definitely does the old switcheroo there as Lachlan Robinson. Now that looks to be a little bit of contact between front and rear bumper. So that's Cuppens' rear bumper and Kimber's front, because you can see that white that's been made very, very dark all of a sudden, as Eliska Babičková battling her way with quite a few other drivers, and that includes Storm Brouwer, that includes Max Stemmerdink, Danny Prins factoring in, Lars Zenen, Luca Thiel, amongst others in that mix. So we fast approach 4 minutes to go plus 1 lap. Luca Leistra now has a comfortable lead. Maybe say that's about a second or 1.2 seconds. Make that a second. So Cuppins in second. As there goes Kimber, forcing his way up the inside of Nick Cuppins, and Lachlan Robinson tries to put his way through into third place and narrowly shuts the door in front of Eliska Babičková. Does the Dubai-based driver with KR Sport. And he looks over his right shoulder to see where Eliska Babičková is in terms of proximity, and she's closing on the rear bumper of the 316 from the UAE. So we now are hitting half-time in this race. 3 minutes and 30 plus an additional lap to go. Flint Turing up to 25th. Emily De Hoy's up to 28th. James Lingard up to 18th, having dropped down the order initially. Lester Ellenkamp and Wu Kirstens ran at the top 15. Leistra leads by 1.6 seconds as they're nearly tripping all over each other behind. Kimber went for a move on Cuppins. He's going to try and do that now. He forces his way through. Oh, Lachlan Robinson up the inside. That was a demon move there from Lachlan Robinson up the inside through into turn 4, and that was on That was on Mark Kimber. So the thing is that Robinson, if Cuppins was any wider coming out of turn 4, Robinson would have had second. That was great timing from Lachlan Robinson. So he's now up into P3. Look at Leistra, looks to extend that gap even further. It was 1.6 seconds. Robinson has a chance, as does Cuppins, as does Kimber, as does Babičková. Stemerding-Kumbra can also be considered in this. Don't forget the fact of some drivers such as Danny Prince in there, Lars Zanen in there as well. The gap now 2.2 seconds. Robinson up the inside like a rat up a drain pipe past Nick Cuppins going into turn 2. And now, if that move was a couple of minutes ago, I would have said that Lachlan Robinson, if he's got the pace behind him, will be able to move forward. He's running in the 55.3s. Lars Zanen has put in the fastest lap of anybody at 54.902. Luca Leistra looks to become the third different winner today. But Lachlan Robinson from the UAE made his he basically made his debut in a full season in Europe last year at the Euro Trophy. Had a great season. Struggled amidst the difficulties in Adria with rain during qualifying, but he showed his true prowess during the very hot Italian sunshine that permeated all the way through that week. 1 minute 24 to go. Leistra now has a lead of over nearly 2.5 seconds over Robinson. Cuppins getting assaulted a little bit maybe by Kimber. Babičková just behind. So 3 battling away over the final step in the top 3. And then you've got Stormbra, Lars Zanen, Bas Janssen, Danny Prince, Christian de Klein. A little bit of side-by-side action. De Klein gets pounced on by Luca Thiel, as now Robinson has got a little bit of a gap. He was about 3.5 tenths up the road from Nick Cuppins. And now it's just the waiting game. Who's going to go for it when you least expect it? Who's going to put that move in that could decide a positional change? Well, not at this particular moment in time, because Luca Leistra now comes across the line and goes on to the 8th and penultimate lap, as it sort of swings and roundabouts between 3rd, 4th and 5th. You don't know which one of them is going to be the one that's going to be at the sharp end of that train or at the back end of it come the end of this race. As there goes Babičková up the inside of Kimber through turn 6. Nicely done by the Czech Republic driver. And keeps it ahead going down the Europalan into turn 7. But look behind. It is not over yet. And I think possibly it looks more than likely, well, it is pretty much a certainty that Luca Leistra has scampered away into the distance. The Buvin Power driver on the Kart Republic chassis will make his way through turn 12 and get the last lap board. Lachlan Robinson looks to be a bit more secure in second position. So last lap board is out. Gap between Leistra and Robinson, 2.5 seconds. Robinson's got a 7/10 of a second advantage over Nick Cuppins, who is coming under fire. And it's going to be rapid fire from both Eliska Babichkova and Mark Kimber. Stormbrower waiting in the wings. Babichkova goes for the move on Cuppens. He gets the switch back. And Kimber now trying to get through past the Czech driver going into turn 7. There goes Stormbrower. Oh, and he tangles with Babichkova. She hits the barriers. Oh my goodness me, that was a great run for Eliska Babichkova, but Stormbrower, I think, went in a bit too hard there, and that could be very much under scrutiny from race control as they're all squabbling over the scraps under the table. Luca Lystra comes round the final corner. He's going to take the victory. Lachlan Robinson from the United Arab Emirates from KR Sport takes a well-deserved second. And it looks like Nick Cuppens holds on to third ahead of Mark Kimber. Lars Zanen in 5th place. Buzz Janssen in 6th. Danny Prinz, Max Stemmerdink, Christian de Klein and Lester Ellenkamp ran out the top 10. Luca Thiel in 11th. James Lingard, Paul Fochema, Sam Van Thiel and Stormbrower ran out the top 15. Whoa, I need to catch my breath for a second. That was intense, that last couple of minutes of that race. So, Stormbrower, that is a provisional P15, I must admit there. Noah Hip, Wood Kirstens, David Lackner, Clementine Benoit, Anthony Billou ran out the top 20. Emily de Huizen 21st ahead of Colin van Lammeren, Devin Sagadi, Mario Sidler, Bart de Wit, Remco Ban, Antoine Antier, Yuri Tenhef, Flint Schuring, Stefan Lemuneau, and Julien Hache running at the 31 strong. Eliska Babikova eliminated as a result of the clash caused, I think, by Stormbrower, but we will leave the jury out on that one because that is something for race control to decide. Gilles Clouet, unfortunately, retiring on lap number 4.